Hey everybody, it's Dr. Winnie, and I'm here with my next installment of Sunday dinner. I'm actually on my way over to my parents' house, and so I thought I would just take a moment and tell you what I prepared for our family today. I decided to go back to our roots, as they say, and so I wanted to make some spare ribs, some pork spare ribs, and I got the St. Louis kind that are rather thick and meaty. We like them that way. And I decided to cook them in a slow cooker because I wanted them to be that fall off the bone tender that everybody loves. And so I put a nice smoky rub on the ribs, and then I slathered them with a delicious barbecue sauce and then put them right in the slow cooker on high for 4 hours. I got started early today, so I was able to do that. And then, of course, the next thing we have to do is have collard greens. And so I got some collard greens that were actually already shredded, kind of saved me a little bit of time. I got a big Dutch oven and cut up some onions and made some fresh cut up minced garlic and some olive oil and cooked that down until it was fragrant. And then I added the collard greens and then lots of chicken broth, and my sister had given me this huge ham shank, and so I put that in too, and we just kept cooking and cooking and cooking until we got it done. It took over an hour because that shank was huge and thick, but also I put in I think about 50 ounces of collard greens. So it was a nice big pot. I actually had to switch it over to a larger stock pot to hold all of it, but it came out great. And then, of course, we always like to have cornbread whenever we have collard greens, so I made a little small container of cornbread as well. I have had an interest in mushrooms. I don't know if you guys have been drinking mushroom coffee. I've been drinking it and I like it. It's kind of got a unique taste, but I had some portobello mushrooms, and so I decided that I wanted to cook those too. So I found a recipe for sauteed portobello mushrooms, because I usually just stick them in the oven whole and just put some garlic and some olive oil on them and just broil them until they're done. But this way I slice them up along with some shallots, which are these little tiny little things that look like little baby onions, and cook that with some what they required garlic infused olive oil. Well, I didn't have that, so I just put some chopped up garlic and some olive oil and let it sit for a while, and then I poured that in and sauteed that, and it came out great. It's going to be a big hit. We love mushrooms in my family, and they're really, really good for you, so I was very happy to have that. So that's the contents of the dinner. But for dessert, I've been into making these tarts lately, these puff pastry tarts. And so I decided I was going to do that again today. So I used different fillings. I used cherry and raspberry and lemon, because my brother-in-law really loves lemon. So I made some that way, and also some with apple filling. And it's really easy. All you have to do is just cut the shape that you want and put a little egg wash around the edges, and then put your filling inside and seal it with a fork and stick it in the oven at about 400 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes, and you get a really, really nice tart. And they're crunchy but yet flaky and buttery, and that was a really nice thing to do. So I've got to really wean myself off of making these tarts, because I've made so many of them. It's like, oh my gosh, nobody's going to be able to eat all these tarts, but I enjoy the process, and so that's why I did it. So for today, I want to just take off my chef hat and put my doctor hat on for just a moment and speak with you about the importance of taking care of the chronic health conditions that you have. I see a lot of patients in my practice who've been diagnosed with high blood pressure or diabetes. They're well aware of it, but they don't want to take medication. And listen, I get it. Medications have side effects, and so it's no fun taking something that you think may be hurting you in the process. And they often tell me they want to be more natural. There are some wonderful natural options available out there, but in the meantime, in between time of getting you under control with the more natural herbs and supplements that are out there, we do want you to have those conditions under control. And so sometimes it means that you do need to take your medication for a short time. You know, if you're walking around with a blood pressure of 200 over 150, you're way too high. And for us to try to use natural herbs and supplements to try to get that down, it's going to take a minute, if at all. In some cases, you really need that medication. But what I see in my practice are the long-term side effects of people who have not taken good care of their health. And whether or not you want to take a supplement, or whether you want to take or you don't want to take regular prescription medication, your body doesn't know that. It's only reacting to what you are giving it or what you're not giving it. And so if you're walking around with a blood sugar of 350, that's bad, and there are bad things happening inside of you, even though you may want to try and modify your diet and exercise more, which are all good things. And doing that very well may get your blood sugar back down to where it needs to be. But in the meantime, if your blood sugar is elevated, you need to be on some type of therapeutic regimen to keep it under control. If your blood pressure is chronically elevated, you need to be on some type of medication, even if it's just a water pill, something to keep it under control while we implement the natural alternatives that could help you, okay? But please don't ignore it, because I see what happens at the end of the rainbow, whether it's that you have problems with bad heart disease, where you're going to have a stroke or a heart attack, God forbid, diabetics, losing extremities because of poor blood flow and poor nerve function because of years of elevated blood sugar. Do not ignore that. One of the number one reasons for people to be on kidney dialysis is diabetes, that and high blood pressure. That pretty much encompasses all of the conditions that put people in a dialysis unit. So take these seriously. If you want to try to be more natural, there's nothing wrong with that. Partner with a functional medicine doctor who can really help you do that. But between now and then, don't ignore the condition, because it's causing damage to your body, something that may not be repairable. Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope you all are having a wonderful day and that you are taking good care of your health. God bless you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.